Hey, what up, guys? Jon from LinksWell here with LinksWell Together podcast, episode 26, coming to you from inside a 2023 Ford F-150, hanging out in Vegas at the Paris. That's a mouthful. But that's what we're doing today, guys. So what do you say we get at it? All right, guys, that's right. We are doing our best to do another live podcast here while we're out at the show. It is set up. There are forklifts and cars moving. But we're going to do our best. We've got some of our booth ain't working, but anyways, we're here anyways. We're going to do it. It's going to be the best podcast ever. Hopefully, it's not another of the best of the lost episodes when your audio didn't work last week and then Art had to come in because he took the day off. So anyways, but one of the things that we are showing here in Vegas this weekend is our application for the 21. Yeah, I can count. 21 to pretty much up, right?
Yeah, 21 to 25 as of right now.
Yeah, as of right now, F-150. And it's pretty cool, guys. So we just figured we would jump in here. We're mostly set up for the show, and we have a training at 3. So we were going to jump in quick, do a quick run through, show you guys about 85% developed system. Yeah, we're about 85% there. So notice there'll be a few things that seem a little off, and that's just because there's some firmware stuff that we're still kind of tweaking out and whatnot, a little bit of fitment things, like the bezel itself is still 3D printed. It's not a full production bezel, but it is quite impressive because this application is the biggest screen we've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest one
ever
in the world for the F-150.
In the world. It's the biggest one in the world.
I mean, like I said, I'm 5'6", and an 18.5-inch screen here isn't blocking my view.
Yeah, no, I keep trying to find a way to get a good picture, from, what your eye perspective is. So I'm sitting driving, right? And I can see the hood all the way across behind it, which is, that's everybody's kind of thing about the XLs. Oh, it blocks your view, but truly all it's doing is blocking the view of the hood that's blocking the view of the road. Yeah. So I wish we could find a good way to do that. But that's actually why we bring the cars.
Yes.
So that people can get in them and see, oh man, the view isn't blocked. And oh my gosh, that is super epic. So, but there it is, guys. This is an 18.5.
So for those of you guys who are familiar with the dash layout in this vehicle, this is where your factory 12-inch screen sits, and this
or 8-inch if it was a smaller one.
Yes, well, this one had the factory 12.
Yep.
But yeah, the 8-inch also sits there. Mm-hmm. The button that opens up your top glove box, you've got your trailer switch over there. So all of these parts actually came out of the factory panel and get transferred over to our panel, like your buttons down here,
the knobs,
or your other stuff,
and then
drive. We cut down directly all the way down to where the factory climate controls were, and so this is where we bring in this impressive.
I'm telling you, it's so big.
Screen. And in the kit, I mean, you're also gonna get these trim panels, both right and left.
The side ones here.
And then this one that goes all the way across.
Because it would get cut in half.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, this is a much better 3D printed model than the one we had
in Vegas. SEMA?
SEMA, yeah. So I'm excited about that, only because things are starting to, fit into place. And again,
we're getting really close.
For those of you who don't know, this is a full LinksWell development from A through Z.
I was literally just thinking that. We've had so many conversations around these other brands, and how it's usually the same factory that is selling to all these different brands, and they're not actually doing any work internally. I mean, this is genuinely proof. I would have preferred to have a completely polished system in here to show, and even to do this video with. And maybe tomorrow we jump in the Chevy and we'll do another episode for.
We definitely will.
I think we should. I think we'll jump in tomorrow morning before the show opens, and we'll do another video in the Chevy to show you guys the Chevy. So that'll probably land next week. So keep your eyes out for that. But the truth is, we are the start to finish. We come up with the ideas, we come up with everything, all of the fitments and the firmware and the software and everything that's happening. We are 100% working out.
Right.
Whereas most of these other companies that you're finding on Amazon, they're not. It's like the same radio coming from one factory.
Yeah.
So what that means is the if there's issues, which guys there will be. Like let's just be honest. It doesn't matter if you're putting in a double din radio or even a standard radio with just steering wheel controls, man. Sometimes you got to call Pack or Maestro or whoever.
Correct.
Because something is just not working within the firmware of like interfacing with those factory radios. Like that's just the nature of technology anymore. Like
it's the world we live in today.
Yeah.
It's technology.
There's always going to be these little nuances within the firmware.
Right.
And the thing that makes us different than pretty much everybody is we do everything, and I feel like we say this all the time, but it makes such a difference because if you run into a problem, we're not relaying that to another company.
That's what I was going to get to. More often than not, once this gets into the end user's hands, there's things that they're going to want to see. There's things that they are going to wish were done differently, not necessarily better, but differently.
Just different, yeah.
And that's where, we start getting the feedback.
Yeah.
And that's where we go back to our software development team and we say, hey, could we potentially
add this,
do something
fix
like
this?
this?
Yeah.
The industry, people are requesting that we should do something different. And that's the beauty about us being in control of every aspect of this development. Yeah. It's because we could talk to our software development team. I don't know that the rest of the companies can say the same thing because now they've got to go backwards and jump through all these different hoops to hopefully do that.
Yeah. Well, and then you figure so you have one factory that sells to 10 brands.
Yeah.
And only one brand is asking for something. The chances of them altering everything for the 10 for the sake of one is pretty slim. So even your input is very limited unless it's like a majority saying they want something. Right. It just won't happen. But for us, anybody that's followed us from the get-go can tell like the things that most people asked for, or even things like you and I asked for, having been in this industry for so long and just knowing, what this industry needs. The factory for the most part has responded and sought out to kind of work those things out.
Yeah, for me personally, the home screen, it's cool. I get it. You have to give it a home screen.
Yeah.
Just like your computer comes with a desktop image. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to keep it. You can personalize it. And we've got videos,
lots of videos
showing that.
Yeah.
So again, what you're looking at here doesn't necessarily mean
it has to stay that way.
Yeah, it has to stay that way. Yeah. But a few things about how this integrates into the car. This one's got obviously the factory steering wheel controls.
Yep.
This one's got the factory 360. It has a factory Bang & Olufsen audio system. And just
seats. This thing is loaded, man. This thing's got seat heaters, seat coolers, the shebang in a
hybrid model.
Yeah, it's hybrid.
Platinum. Well, just so you know, the trim level on this one is the platinum.
The platinum. It's got every little nuancey feature you could imagine. Yes. And I think at this point, the only thing that we don't have complete integration to is the pro backup trailer thing,
right?
Which I don't know we will be able to because that is a lot.
System.
Yeah, it's a lot of things happening in that system. So hear me, if that's a deal breaker for you guys, that would be a deal breaker for any aftermarket radio. Just so you know,
right? It's not just a LinksWell thing.
It's not just us. That's a lot of firmware to kind of mess around with, but yeah, man. So I figure, hey, we're here. You guys can see it. Hopefully, you guys got a good image in this. Hopefully, I have no lighting, so there was a moment where my face was really bright. That was because the forklift was backing up into us, and his reverse lights were on our face. So everything's a little. It's a rough video.
We had to open the sunroof.
Yeah, we got the sunroof open to try and get some light in here. But hopefully hopefully you guys see a pretty good thing, and I can tweak a little bit inside of Premiere Pro to kind of tweak that out. But there it is. Now, hopefully you guys got a good picture of that. I'll show you maybe even a couple things so that you can just tell we are actively working, right? So the big thing with CarPlay, right? I was driving this out here for CarPlay, and the only hang up with the CarPlay right now is this app is not talking with our lower bar, and so you can see how it shoves it all the way down. Now, first off, that is a whole lot of CarPlay. I'm sorry, that 18 inches.
Yes, it is.
That is a whole lot of CarPlay. But you can tell here, before the firmware is done, this will get fixed and it'll kind of push it up just a little bit, just so that you're not, don't have some icons kind of stuck in the middle of the knob and some tweaky things like that. But outside of that, it worked great. It got us here.
Yeah, no, I used it in the Chevy on my way here too.
Yeah. So there's CarPlay, guys. Everybody always asks, can I do CarPlay? And you can. I mean, those buttons are massive.
Look at that. That's a size. One of these apps is the size of some factory screens.
You're not even wrong, man. Like, that's my hand, guys. And I'm 6'2". Like, I mean, I don't have a huge hand. I have a pretty big hand, but that just anyways, this is a big screen, man. It's a super big screen. And one of the cool things about this one and the Chevy is they are coming out pre-Gen 7.
Right.
And post-Gen 6. They're like kind of caught in the middle. So there are a few components that we are shifting into Gen 7 that these guys got. And one of those is the 5G cell chip, so that you can do 5G and not just 4G, which is pretty cool.
Well, it'll open up room for other providers.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and just maybe a little quicker. Maybe it won't be quite as difficult to interface. Like, I could never have believed how many issues we were going to have.
Oh yeah,
trying to get
cellular.
Yeah, cellular to
a SIM card to work.
Just something simple as a SIM card. Yeah. But anyways,
I guess it's new for the service providers too. I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're used to cookie cutter. Push this, push that, and away you go.
Right.
Yeah, we're a little different, but. Anyways, CarPlay's there, guys. And then, I mean, I feel like it makes no sense for us to do a whole lot of like full on feature sets, because if you've seen any, like, we have so many YouTube videos out there.
Yes.
You can find our playlist under the XL, and you can see a bunch of the nuance, like feature sets or programmings and stuff like that.
Yeah, but how this integrates to the vehicle too, because remember, the factory radio has got vehicle control functions. So what you love about our Gen 6 is that, we have, different apps on there, but the car settings app is the one that's going to take you in to the vehicle control functions the factory radio had access to. So all of your general settings, vehicle settings, driver assist, even access to the factory amplifier. Like when I first installed,
Bang & Olufsen,
like when I first installed this into the vehicle, I had no audio, and I was like, "What the heck's going on?" So I go into the vehicle settings, I look at volume, and this is where I was able. This was set to 0.
Oh, okay.
So then I brought it up to 14, and this is where I was able to adjust the audio so that the output of a radio can match the input on the factory B&O amplifier.
Yep.
So, this is just stuff that you'll have access to and how it integrates into the car.
Yeah. Tire pressure, zone lighting. This all your, what do you call it? Your pretty lights.
Perimeter lighting.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. So, again, like, and this is all things like we're pulling these different settings and programs and all of the things that are happening right now. Hey, what's up, Derek? Say hi to Derek, everybody. Welcome to shows. Everybody's just going and doing their thing. Anyways, back to it. Yes, all of our factory settings are right there. You can adjust the Bang & Olufsen. The original amplifier settings will not work if your truck doesn't have Bang & Olufsen, so don't assume it's going to do anything if your truck's not got Bang & Olufsen.
Right.
And that's just because all these new integrated amplified systems, and I have videos on this too, all of your EQ settings and fade settings and balance settings are actually happening internally in the amp, and it's not the radio. So you're not adjusting the signal from radio to amplifier, you're adjusting amplifier to the speakers.
Right.
So integrating into that means you need to be able to control what's happening on the factory amp side. Because if you pulled the radio out in the factory amps settings saved, where you had a lot of bass and no treble or something like that, and then you send our signal, which is differently EQ'd, and then you'll end up with like really crappy sound and big issues like that. So all those settings are there for you, nice and easy. Another
new thing about the pre-Gen 7, post-Gen 6 is this has a much nicer built-in DSP.
Which I don't even think our 6 and XL one was horrible.
No, it's not horrible.
It was a pretty decent one.
But this one is now
even better.
Upgraded version of that one. I mean, look at this EQ. From 20... Look at this.
Oh, man. I do not have the patience for that.
20,000 hertz.
I will probably push that button.
and turn the volume up. There you go.
Yeah. No, but if you are that guy who's super committed,
you're going to have, hi-fi DSP, your fader rebalance if you're doing aftermarket amplifiers, right? DTS selection. So if you go in the Pro mode, it'll just be completely different. Your crossover settings for each independent output. So I think that, this is just over the top, definitely new and innovative for
it's just going to make it better and better.
Exactly.
Again, what we keep trying to do, and we'll actually talk in the Chevy our answer to the Bose.
Yes.
When we do that one, we'll do that one probably tomorrow. But we'll talk answers of the Bose situation. But then typical stuff, man. You got the Play Store. You could download all your different apps like that, and you know what my favorite thing actually on this one is. Actually, we don't have Wi-Fi in here. I love the fact that you can change the size of the picture-in-picture.
Yep.
So like when you do picture-in-picture, you no longer are stuck on only that one size.
So I was using that on our way here.
I was too.
It wasn't the split screen,
Nope.
but it was picture
Pretty
in
close.
picture.
Yeah.
You just tap the little square twice, and then now your picture in picture gets bigger.
Yeah. So you can
And
actually
you can move it.
Yeah, you can actually pinch to zoom it
Oh,
to whatever.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't do that. I double tapped it.
Let's see if we can get the Wi-Fi going. We're going to disconnect CarPlay. You guys just keep watching and enjoy what's happening here.
So it's got a SIM card in there. One of the things that I didn't do just because I couldn't find it was I didn't. So it's got. Let me see here. So what I didn't do was put the 5G antenna. Oh, no internet. Okay.
Yeah. I tried. That's why I had to do Wi-Fi. But anyway, it does have SIM card. So let me disconnect the CarPlay real quick here. Turn my phone off. And now it's connected to the Wi-Fi. So now if we do... Actually, I was doing Netflix because Netflix is...
Also, now you can also pinch to zoom Netflix.
Yeah. Watch. So actually, this is one of those things where you'll see firmware. It's going to change things because it flips it on you, so you actually can't watch it full screen. But it'll be something we have to do within the thing. But if you hit the home button and it becomes picture in picture, right now watch.
Lovely.
I can say how big I want.
That's awesome. And you can have and once you've got the SIM card in there, you can have CarPlay in the background.
Yeah, man.
And this video in the front in picture mode. That's awesome. See, what I was doing was I was double tapping the small square.
So you double tap this?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was doing that to go from the small to this side.
Yeah. But anyways, I just think that's really cool because that picture in picture on the XL sometimes is just a little small.
Yes,
you want a little bit bigger. So that I think is a really cool. I think that's a really cool feature that's going to come out with the new.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited to see what this is. Like we've got really good. A lot of people are excited at SEMA.
Yeah.
When they got into this, so I'm excited to see kind of how people respond here because this is a much more geared audience. You know, SEMA's everybody cars. Here at KFest, it's just 12-volt dudes. So it's basically just the guys that would be installing something like this. So I'm interested to see what's going on there. But yeah, man, that's it, man. That's the 18.5.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, please do. And if there's something you want us to do more, this is our truck. So this goes home with us. It stays with us. This actually will be our rep vehicle once we get the final system in here. And we do a couple extra things. This will actually be our rep vehicle. So if you are a dealer and you want to see this in person, contact your rep and say, hey, man, do your best to get that truck because we will take this truck and we will ship it out to our reps across the U.S. and up into Canada that they can take it to your shop and you can get your hands on it and actually see it in case you're not here in Vegas. We're going to do the same thing for a Chevy. We're going to buy a Chevy and do the same thing. Or if you come to any of the shows we'll be at, we're also going to buy another one of these trucks that we're going to build out for the show, so you'll be able to see it anytime, this year when you're at any of the shows we're at. So, but that's it, man. KFest. I think we should probably go back out there and help them finish setting up.
Yeah,
I agree. I feel like people are kind of walking around aimlessly without us. This company would die without us. That's what I think. I don't know if it's true. It's probably not true, but it sure makes me feel good. But anyways, man, hopefully we got training. You guys, the training will be done by the time you watch this. The show will be done by the time you watch this. But anyways, there it is, guys. 18.5-inch screen. Makes even that 12-inch Ford screen look small
it does.
In comparison. Even makes our 15.6-inch, I think, side by side. It even makes that look kind of small.
Yeah, we had that at SEMA side by side, and it was like, whoa.
You just don't realize what that 3 inches actually does. Like, it is really, it doesn't seem like that big, but then, man, when they're next to each other, it is quite different. But hey, man, if you've got a 21 up F-150 and you've been looking to do something cooler, we will have something. We're really hoping for both this and the Chevy to hit market around April, which I think we'll probably hit it. I think we will.
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, we're on track. It's just a matter of finessing a couple
little knick-knack things here and there and a little tweaking. But there you go, guys. Episode 26 from Vegas at the Paris, hanging out in our F-150. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you don't subscribe, make sure you hit subscribe. And as well, we're still trying to give away that amplifier. So in the description will be a link for you to join or not a join. It's not join. It's submit. Submit to the drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can never think
Sign
of the
up.
right word. Sign up. Anyways, so if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe to there and get yourself into the drawing, enter into the drawing. And then if you already are a subscriber, there are other ways for you to get into the drawing, whether that's sharing a video, liking a video, finding us on Instagram or something like that. So even if you are a subscriber, we still got ways for you to win a 1,000-watt D-Class amplifier.
There we go.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.